Hey everyone, Daniel here. Happy New Year, and welcome to Chapter 8, The 7 Wonders of Connection. As we connect under the final full moon of 2020, we align ourselves with new ways and new opportunities to connect in the year 2021. Connection, of course, is something the entire world is waiting for, having been confronted with a unilateral disconnect that was the year 2020. We've been brutally disconnected from our normal, everyday lives, jobs, and communities by the pandemic. This, on top of the disconnect from one another, brought about by a toxic political environment. In Chapter 7, The 7 Wonders of Compassion, we made peace with where life had put us. This is a pivotal point of the recovery process. Literally the gateway into a new, more rewarding, magical life. The discussion with astrologer and consciousness coach Linda Bird yielded vast insight into how we can heal past wounds by honoring them for the teachers they are. When we focus and fixate on loss and unhealthy and unproductive ways for too long, we fail to see the opportunity and space for something new. When we release resentments to the care of Great Spirit and ask for divine help, we invite opportunity for new life and activate ourselves as a conduit for the divine, instantly. This point, though, is very important to understand. We have to ask for help in order to get it. And of course, we need the humility to accept help and to become willing to let go of things and actions that no longer serve us. In a year where so many of us have clung to justified anger as a means to induce enlightenment, where we have been forced into a figurative and literal disconnect from one another, the winter solstice 2020 brought billions of people together all around the world, connecting and focusing attention on the Great Conjunction. The reappearance of the Star of Bethlehem, or as I call it, the Star of Enlightenment. No matter our politics, spiritual beliefs, or lack thereof, or social or ethical backgrounds, the world was looking at one star altogether. Personally, it's not lost on me how profoundly meaningful that moment was for all of us. In fact, connection is vital to everyone, now more than ever. Just as making first contact with alien intelligence would require diligent patience, open-mindedness, care, and caution, we must apply the same principles in the steps we take towards first contact with ourselves and each other here on Earth as we enter the new year. Just as making first contact with an alien intelligence would require diligent patience, open-mindedness, care, and caution, we must apply the same principles in the steps we take toward first contact with ourselves and each other here on Earth as we enter the new year. What we have learned about ourselves and others is, in many ways, alien intelligence. We know things we didn't know before, which can put us on guard. We may not see ourselves the same way, and we probably don't see others the same way either. We continually evaluate if our new knowledge is going to lead to peace or destruction. The practice and task of the 7 Wonders, up to this moment, has been a process of disconnecting from the ways in which we are destructive to ourselves. And I'm sure hearing that last sentence induced a ping of cold resistance. Most of us, when faced with the straightforward question, "Are you self-destructive?" would quickly respond with a resilient, "Absolutely not." The problem is, as witches and people with spiritual creative gifts, we are equally creative in the ways we sabotage our true potential as we are about hiding our sabotage from ourselves and others. What we accept as the mainstream label for self-destructive behavior does not align with who we are, at least on the surface. This is why, chapter by chapter, we have been gently identifying ways in which we evade our personal and magical well-being. The seemingly little things we let slide are indeed destructive to our sense of self. Treating ourselves poorly in little ways over long periods of time is destructive. Making connections past our walls of denial can fool us into thinking we're no longer connected. We may fall into the opposite direction. I'm a terrible person and I am my own worst enemy. I'll never recover or learn how to be good to myself. This dramatic theatrical scene spins itself as the central character in your life story, spinning more and more out of control, hogging the spotlight, becoming the director, the supporting cast, your entire story. But it's not any of those things. It's a dramatic scene, staged by a stubborn, self-imposed curse, pitching a demon tantrum, designed to distract you from seeing the simple truth that you've already taken steps into self-care. Lies react in the same way liars do when confronted with the truth. They will react defiantly, desperately, even violently. But ultimately, lies fear for their life, no matter the size of the truth they face. Discovering new information, like open a new circuit pathway, is the first step in making a connection, even if the new information is shocking. For this reason, it is better to start with small circuits of information to stabilize the success of the desired long-term connection. And of course, we must feel confident that we have a solid, neutral, grounding wire. Chapter 8 Tasks, Assignments, and Spell Work. Coffee. The 7 chapters. Ground and connect. Reviewing the work we have covered so far will ground us to the truth of our progress. Even a simple shift in the right direction is momentum and progress, and tracking progress tends to encourage more progress. Complete the following statements in your Shadow Pages journal. I feel safer now that I'm really more myself when I'm honest about my anger. The thing I love most about my home place is I'm secretly grateful for. I have a true, loyal, faithful friend, and with a little willingness, I can trust the divine Great Spirit with. Each of the statements corresponds with the previous chapters of the 7 Wonders and will provide you with an honest connection to your progress in healing. Chapter 1 was protection, Chapter 2, mythology, Chapter 3, power, Chapter 4, abundance, Chapter 5, territory, Chapter 6, integrity, Chapter 7, compassion. Next, spell check, curses, counter curses, and charms. As I mentioned, when we begin to circle in on truth, or anything that resembles self-care, our most stubborn self-imposed curses rear their ugly heads and pitch a demon tantrum. We must understand and accept the fact that as we get smarter, so do our inner demons. Remain diligent. Do not allow self-imposed curses to run unchecked. Return to your list of self-imposed curses and counter curses from week 1. Add additional self-imposed curses that have come up and convert them into believable counter curses. It's not unusual for self-imposed curses to reemerge and persist. The more they pop up, the more you can trust that you're actually closing in on them. You have to be more persistent in order to fully expose and remove the curse from your inner dialogue. By converting a self-imposed curse into a counter curse, then chanting the counter curse as an affirmative charm 7 times into a mirror, you're performing a powerful spell check. Next, compose a devotion prayer. While there are many prayers, rituals, and ceremonies designed to devote ourselves to a higher power and spiritual ethics, there's nothing more personal and more powerful than writing your own. I'll share the one I wrote for myself to hopefully inspire you and help you get started. Great Spirit, on this day, in this moment and all that follow, my body, my life, and my work serve as a conduit of your power, grace, and will. I surrender all that I am, all that I do, and all I will become to you. I accept the help and direction that flows from you, your angels, guides, and messengers, in all their divine ways, visible and invisible. I dedicate my powers and gifts freely and willingly to serve you in your higher good. My sacred trust is in you always. Grant that I may return to light when darkness breaks, love in the face of fear, bless all the creation and what I create through you. Next, Mystic Moonshine. This is a simple full moon ritual that will activate and connect you with the devotion prayer you composed. All you need is a wine glass filled with drinking water, distilled is best, and your devotion prayer, and a full moon. Take time to clean and clear yourself, the wine glass and water, and your space, as you would before performing any sacred rite or ritual. Stand outside under a full moon or indoors if weather and privacy is an issue. Hold the wine glass in both hands and hold it above your head, up to the moon, and envision the moonbeams are coming down and charging the water. Next, bring it down to your heart and recite your devotion prayer with intent. And open up your heart and allow the words to actually flow into the charged moon water. Once that's done, then drink your water with intent, and then close the ritual in your way. All right, that wraps Chapter 8, The 7 Wonders of Connection. In addition to the task and spell work, don't forget to continue with the basic tools, your shadow work. You want to make sure that you're doing your shadow pages, 3 pages a day. You want to make sure that you're doing a shadow dance and your small dance so that you're connecting with your body and you're starting to get a better sense of how you feel about things, how your body actually feels about things. Do that once a week for 20 minutes. You also want to continue with a vision quest. Make sure that you get out and do something really cool for yourself. One night a week, one day a week, it doesn't matter, but at least spend an hour with yourself. All of the spells and assignments for this week are going to be in the blog post associated with Chapter 8, The 7 Wonders of Connection at daniellink.com. As always, I have additional stuff and really cool, some cool videos, some music links in the digital witch box. And that's it for 2020, right? So join me next year as we launch Chapter 9, The 7 Wonders of Magic, on Saturday, January 9th, 2021. Until then, again, Happy New Year, everyone. Be kind to yourself, and I'll see you at the Rainbow's Edge.